The topic we discussed was the union executive. So, as in India, as per our Indian Constitution, union executive consists of, I've told in the previous class, president along with vice president, council of ministers, and attorney general. Okay. And here the president is the head of Indian state. And the Indian Constitution under Article 53, it vests the powers of the union in the president and shall be exercised by him either directly or through his officers. Right. And one more thing, the president is the supreme commander of the armed forces. He is the first citizen of India and occupies the first position under the warrant of precedence. And all the executive actions are taken in his name. And when we talk about the term of the president office, it is the president holds, once being elected, then it holds office for 5 years. He sits in the office even after the completion of 5 years, given if there is no new election has been taken place. But usually his tenure is for 5 years only. And one president can be re-elected. So there is no capping. So the question is, who can become a prime minister, president? So first of all, the qualification to become a president. Number one is, he should be an Indian citizen. So the citizens of other countries cannot become president of India. So the first condition is, he should be an Indian citizen. His age should be minimum of 35 years. He should qualify for the conditions to be elected as a member of Lok Sabha, and he should not hold any office of profit under the central government, state government, or any public authority. So suppose any person holding, she is already a office holder, means he is chief secretary, he is IPS and holding an office. So if he is holding up any office of profit, he cannot contest the presidential election. So okay. Now what are the other conditions of the president office? So these are, so there are some conditions for the candidature of the president election. So here, he cannot be a member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha membership is the office of profit. So the first condition is, he cannot be a member of Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. If he has been a member of either of the house, he should resign first. He should vacate the seat on the first day, on his first day as president in the office. Number two, he should not hold any office of the profit. I have only told. And then third is for his residence. Rashtrapati Bhavan is provided to him without the payment of any rent. So free, rental free president house. So he will enjoy the rental free president house. Then, although some of the emoluments are already mentioned in the constitution, but the parliament decides the emoluments, allowances, and privileges. It is the hello, yeah, bad network quality. So okay, and then parliament Parliament cannot diminish his emoluments and allowances during his term of office. So the president will enjoy all the emoluments, allowances, and fringe benefits, privileges during the tenure of his presidency. And even the parliament cannot diminish it. Sixth is he is given immunity from any criminal proceeding. So even in respect of his personal acts. So no criminal proceeding can be initiated against the President of India. And the last condition is arrest or imprisonment of President of India cannot take place. Since no criminal proceeding can be initiated, at the same time, no arrest, no imprisonment. So, the Indian police cannot arrest president or he cannot be sent for the imprisonment. So only the civil proceedings can be initiated for his personal act. Okay, and that too after giving 2 months of prior notice. So okay, so this is about the President of India. Now, when we talk about the second executive is the Vice President. So I have already told there shall be a Vice President under Article 63. And the Vice President is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. That means State of Council of State. And the Vice President acts as a president in the case of death of existing president, resignation, or his removal from the office. And the vice president may also discharge the duties of president during his absence, illness, or for any other cause. Now, the second executive, third executive, we can say. So there are three executives: president, vice president, prime minister, and minister of councils, and the third one is attorney general. So let us have a brief note, brief intro about the prime minister office. So the prime minister is also the chief advisor of the president of India and head of the council of ministers. So the Narendra Modi, he is our prime minister and he is the chief advisor to the president of India. So The President of India is supposed to be the rubber stamp. Whatever decision is taken by the Council of Ministers and under the leadership of the Prime Minister, and when they advise Prime Minister, President, he has to act as per the advice of the Cabinet, of the Council of Ministers. And about the Prime Minister, he should have completed his 30 years if he is a member of Rajya Sabha, or 25 years of age if he is member of Lok Sabha. So always remember that. Again, we will discuss it later on. But to become a member of Rajya Sabha, the minimum age is 30 years, and any person of 25 years of age can become a member of Lok Sabha. And any member from Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha can become a Prime Minister. Right? So it says he can be a member of any of the two houses of Parliament, but has to be the leader of the majority political party. So he must be a leader of a political party having the majority in Lok Sabha. Only there is a provision for the election or nomination as a Prime Minister. Who can become a Prime Minister? He must be a member of either Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. And the person who is a leader of the majority party in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha in the Parliament, he can become a Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister coordinates all the policies of the government. So the Constitution says that the Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President, and the other ministers shall be appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. So first of all, so suppose just after the elections, one leader of the majority party is elected, and then he can be appointed as the Prime Minister by the President. And other ministers, they will be appointed by the President itself, but they can be appointed simply on the advice of the Prime Minister. And it is the duty of the Prime Minister to keep the President informed of all the cabinet decisions concerning the administration of affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation, and furnish all the informations asked by the President of India. So, Prime Minister, the leader of the majority political party, the political party which has obtained majority in the Parliament for the Lok Sabha, he will be nominated as the Prime Minister, and on his advice, the other members will be appointed by the President of India as a ministers, Council of Ministers. So as per the Constitution, there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister at the head to aid and advise the President, who shall, in exercise of his functions, act in accordance with such advice given by the Council of Ministers. And recently, Earlier there was no limitation, but now there is a limitation of number of ministers. So the total number of ministers, including the Prime Minister, in the Council of Ministers shall not exceed 15% of the total number of members of the House of People. Right? And it was this amendment took place and added by 91st Constitutional Amendment. As I have told, till date 104 amendment has been taken place, and this for the limiting the numbers, this provision came after the 91st Constitutional Amendment Act 2003. So it was amended in the year 2003. And the ministers hold office during the pleasure of the president. So president any time can remove any minister from the council by the advice of the prime minister, and he can be removed by the president. So it is said the ministers hold office during the pleasure of the president. And one more thing about the council of ministers, that they are collectively responsible to the House of People, means Lok Sabha. So they are accountable, they are answerable for any of the decisions, and they are collectively responsible. Okay. Suppose there are so many ministers, HRD minister, defense minister, home minister, Amit Shah, HRD minister, Dharmendra Pradhan. So suppose anything, any decision which has been taken by any of the department. So for their act, the whole council of ministers is collectively responsible, and they are answerable to Lok Sabha. And before a minister takes over his office, the president administers to him the oath of office and secrecy according to the forms set out for the purpose of third schedule. And the salaries and allowances of ministers are such as the parliament may time to time determine by the law. And until parliament so determines, shall be specified in the second schedule of the constitution. So it is the matter of controversy all the time in India that all the members of parliament, council of ministers, they are being paid, which is not acceptable as per salary and allowances. That is not acceptable to the Indian citizens. They feel that they are getting a very big amount, and there are so many allowances like their canteen. So hardly you have to pay 85 rupees and you can get a lot of food. But I think recently Narendra Modi has withdrawn that facility. Just a minute. Attendance first. So when we talk about the term of the office of the Council of Ministers, as I told, that they are appointed by the President and they remain hold the office at the pleasure of the President. So ministers are appointed by the President and remain at the pleasure of the President. So it only signifies something that if they continue to have the support of the Lok Sabha majority. So one side, it is upon the President. He can remove any of the minister on the advice of the Prime Minister. But usually, they can continue till that particular majority party, that party has the majority in the Lok Sabha. And any minister can be asked to resign by the Prime Minister at any moment. So it is the Prime Minister who decides who will be the member of his Council of Ministers. And he will just advise the President, and on his advice, President removes him. And the Prime Minister has the authority to suggest the dismissal of any minister to the President, and the President always follows his advice. So once the advice to remove any minister has been obtained from the Prime Minister has to follow the advice. And the maximum duration for which a minister can be in his office is 5 years, or one term, or the completion of the term in the Lok Sabha. Now, the qualification to become a Council of Minister. Who can become a Council of Minister? So, ministers must be a member of either House of Parliament. Any person who is a member of either Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha can become, can be appointed as a Council of Minister. If a person who is not a member of either House of the Parliament is appointed as a minister, he shall cease to be minister after 6 months. So he can continue only till 6 months. So after 6 months, suppose unless in the meanwhile minister has to get himself elected to either House of the Parliament, he can continue. So you might remember about the Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh he was appointed Prime Minister of India, but he was not the member of any house. Then how he became the member, from where he became the member? Any idea?
Sir, Assam.
So Siddhant, he was inducted in Rajya Sabha, become a member of Rajya Sabha from Assam, right? Even I think Yogi Adityanath also, he was member of Lok Sabha earlier, and he was elected member. He was appointed Chief Minister. Then he became a member of Legislative Council. He was not the member of Legislative Assembly. For the first time, he is now contesting Assembly election. So he is contesting Assembly election from which seat?
Gorakhpur.
Gorakhpur. Okay. So it also says if a member of Parliament has been disqualified on the ground of defection, he would not be eligible to become a minister. But if he again gets elected in the next freshly held parliamentary election, then he will be eligible to become a minister. Right? So like the cases are same as the chief minister in the state and the prime minister in the union. So you might remember like Lalu Yadav. है ना? Lalu Yadav on the ground of defection. He has to resign from the post of chief minister. And then what he did? He just managed for her wife Rabdi Devi. In the same manner, now once in Jharkhand, there was one independent MLA, member of Legislative Assembly, Mr. Madhu Koda. But somehow he managed the majority in the house and became the chief minister of Jharkhand. But now, just because of money laundering case, again, on that ground of defection, he has to resign. So the third important executive, union executive, is the Attorney General. Okay. So the president is the executive post. President is the executive post. And he is the real executive. And all the executive actions of India are taken in his name. Second, like in Hindi, what do we say? Executive, legislative, and judiciary. There are three main wings. President is the executive head. Second, Prime Minister is the legislative head. Thirdly, the Attorney General. He is the highest law officer in the country. Okay, and Article 76 of the Constitution provides for the office of the Attorney General of India. And he is appointed by the President on the advice of the government. And since President appoints him, Attorney General can be removed by the President also. And when we talk about the main duties and the functions of the Attorney General, then the Attorney General has the right to participate in the proceedings of the House or Houses of Parliament. Okay, he is the highest law officer and he has the right to participate in the proceedings of the houses, either Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha or the joint house. And he has the right to an audience in any court in India. He has the right to an audience in any court of India. And then he enjoys all legislative privileges which are available to the members of parliament. And he performs such duties of legal matters as may be assigned to him by the president. So we have discussed president, vice president, prime minister, and attorney general. And here, this attorney general, the executive is an important part of Indian polity. During the time of emergency, the federal structure of the executive was converted into the unitary status structure, and all the powers of the state executive was vested with the union executive. So this is about the union executive, brief introduction of the union executive. Now we will discuss all the executives separately in details. Then later on, president, vice president, prime minister, and Supreme Court of India, Council of Ministers, their functions, their responsibilities. So everything we'll discuss in details. Okay. Now just tell me. Harshvardhan, or any of you, have you all received the notice regarding the offline classes? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what is the expected date? When you are coming to the campus?
15th.
Yes? क्या सिद्धांत कब आ रहे हो आप सब लोग?
Sir, I am in the hostel already.
अच्छा, you are already in the hostel. So how many of you are in the hostel?
Sir, I and two friends are more. They are from CSE.
Only two friends, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh. So when others will be joining you? By 15th?
I don't know, sir. Nobody is coming.
Nobody is coming.
No, sir.
Why?
Sir, I don't know, sir. I asked from many of the friends, but all are telling they are not coming soon.
So what is the college notice regarding the offline classes?
So probably they have not decided about offline classes now, only about labs. They are telling that from 15th it will start.
Acha, this will start only for the labs,
Yes.
not for the regular lecture classes.
No, sir.
Oh. So you are all in 8th semester, na?
Sir, 6th semester.
Oh, you are in 6th semester. So I think for 8th semester it is mandatory for final year students. But we have received a notice that the offline classes will be started soon. And we have to arrange accordingly. But till date, no class has been allotted to you. Anna. So this all things will take some time.
Yes, sir.
So let us see what happens, what kind of notice comes from the higher authorities. Just because now the pandemic is getting over. Yesterday, the cases were less than 1 lakh in India. And the third peak is now, I think it is over. So, okay. We'll start discussion on all the executives, powers, responsibilities. Likewise in the next class. Okay. So I can end the meeting now. Samriddhi, are you there? Samriddhi. Harshita Pahan. Nilesh Kumar. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So you are all there now. Okay, very good. So I think hardly 2 minutes left. So I can end the meeting. But waiting for you eagerly to see you in the classroom. Okay. Waiting for such notice from the higher authorities. Okay.